So I'm making some herbal preparations tonight, and I decided to make this little video because I just got off a phone conversation with a friend regarding something that's been um, on our minds, on in discussion lately, and that has been this whole wave of plant lust that we're seeing. Folks that are calling it ethical wildcrafting, and the gross abundance of misidentification of plants, and these new companies that are these new companies, new people that are starting botanical companies, making herbal remedies, um, who are not formally trained, or who don't really understand the plants. Folks that are just learned how to make a salve from a workshop or Pinterest or something, or watching a video online. It's easy to do that. It's nice to do that for yourself and friends and family to make gifts, but to go out there and make medicinal claims and start taking native plants that you don't know anything about is extremely unethical and irresponsible. To make money off of the land and the plants, I find to be fucked up. And folks that look at this as a cool, trendy thing that's going to make them some extra cash is wrong. And especially when people are like misidentifying the plants and presenting it all over social media as being the plant that they think it is. I think it's wrong. And I see this happen all the time, actually, and to me, it just shows a lack of experience. The person doesn't know what the heck they're doing, and I'm like, why the hell are they even making products and selling it? Why are they misrepresenting themselves and the plants? Why do they act like they know what they're talking about? It's just like it's messed up, because not only are they taking that plant's life, they're cutting up that plant, but they're presenting it to be something that they think it is, and they're going to go make medicine out of it. And when they do that, then you're getting to the realm of, if it's a toxic plant, it could actually hurt you. You could actually make yourself ill, your friends, or God forbid, clients that you're selling this to, and then you are also the potential is there for making somebody so sick or death. So I feel that obviously these people don't know what they're doing, but they're acting like they do, and their ego is going to get a little bent when they're called out. And it's just like, maybe those people need to study and need to learn the plants before they cut the plants. Not cool. And are you tending to the land? Are you going back a year after you gathered from there to see what your impact was? I've seen cuttings on plants that were done wrong, that I could tell that it was somebody that doesn't know what the heck they're doing. And when that's done, now you're opening that plant to bacteria, infection, and sickness. And that's not cool. It's not cool to do that to make a product and make money off of the plant. You're doing it at the cost of the life of that plant, and I think it's extremely wrong, especially when you're harvesting or wildcrafting plants that are on the to watch species list, plants that are impacted by humans, by commerce, and not only that, by environmental factors as well. White sage is one. It's not only it goes more beyond the wildcrafting, the poaching, I call it. It's also environmental factors, the lack of water, fire ecology, all of this impacts the plants. So it's not just like, I cut the plant right, I only take it from here. It's like, but we're not the only problem. There's a bigger picture to everything. And, there was a gal on Instagram that got upset because I approached her about her making products with white sage. Regardless if it was a small company or a big product company like Juniper Ridge, it's not right, because you're part of that problem. You're piece of that pie that keeps contributing, and it's going to just build and build and build. And if you have the person told me they had a personal relationship with this plant. So they feel entitled, that's entitlement, to cut this plant and to make it into their products. If somebody has such a personal relationship to a plant that it's that personal to them, maybe keep it to yourself. You don't need to share it with the world, especially a plant that is impacted, that it's known to be impacted, that's impacted by commerce. It's like, maybe lay off of it and grow your own. People that are gathering plants and just reading about the medicinal uses and then regurgitating it on their social media page, that's funny, and it's obvious. It's something that can be seen. So I don't know. I'm really bummed out by this whole, like, last year it was cool to be a witch, and now it's cool to just be like a wannabe herbalist without actually studying and spending time with the plants. I find it to be really sad, and it's scary. I will not take medicine from anybody that I do not know, because I want to make sure that the herbal preparations, the herbal medicine that's made is done not only ethically, but I want to make sure that that person comes from a good place and has the experience. Knowledge can be attained by reading books, but experience is what I feel is important, especially when it comes to working with plants, is the experience of and learning and studying the ebb and flow of how they exist, and it's not only how they exist, but the ecosystem that they survive, that they thrive in, and so it bums me out to see people profiting off the land and off of the plants. And especially when I see certain plants that have a stronger affinity for one system of the body, but this person's using it for another, I find to be quite a bummer. I see this a lot. And, there's plants that when it comes to making salves, teas, tinctures, I go for the medicine. I go for the plant that I feel would be has a stronger affinity to that system. So, for instance, yerba santa to me is one of the plants I work with quite often for any type of respiratory conditions, respiratory issues that are like the wetness, the dampness in the lungs, bronchitis, asthma. This is a plant that's opening to the bronchioles. I have wonderful experiences with this medicine, with this plant, helping me when I've been sick. Especially around allergy time. I love this plant in form of a tea, even tincture mixed with other flora that has an affinity to allergies. It does have antimicrobial properties. It can be used topically, but there's stronger medicine that could be used topically. I like to reserve something like this for internal use because it not only do I like it for internal use because I know how effective it is, but it's also because the medicine, it tastes good. This plant tastes good, and it's pleasant, whereas something like creosote bush, which, is also antimicrobial, it has antifungal, antibacterial properties, it has all these other, uses that are wonderful to use for external use. Internal use, not so tasty, not so good, and unless you've actually made a tea and drank some creosote bush, Laurea tridentata, then you'd know what I'm talking about. No one's ever stoked about drinking a cup of creosote bush tea. So, that's when it comes to making medicine, that's what I look at. I don't know if people are doing, I don't know. Personally, like, the way I do it is different, and I know a lot of folks that I know will go for different plants for different reasons. If this is all that I had, then yes, I would make a salve out of it. But, if there's an abundance of another plant that's not impacted, that's quite in abundance, I would go for that plant. So that's my rant on this plant lust that I see, because I'm tired of this whole trend. I don't know what the next cool thing's going to be. I hope the next cool thing is going to be about caring about the land and the plants and protecting them and picking up trash and yeah. That's what I hope the next trend's going to be. Anyway, good night.